What's up, everybody? So gonna mess with my laser stuff now that my pole barn's a little set up, so we can do this a little more. So we're not experts here. We're just like playing around and not being so bored. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of what I got going and what I'm using. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna jump to vecteasy.com. They got some free vectors, and let's use this one for example. We're gonna go ahead and download this. Boom, we're downloaded. Now we're going to minimize. We're going to go into lightburn. I just bought the license for this. The one computer I had, they give you a 30-day trial. So if you like it, you can buy it. If not, then it doesn't cost you nothing. So we're going to go in here to File. We're going to open. We're going to open a picture. No, we're not. We're going to go to Downloads. Nope, I forgot how we do this. We got to open our files. Go to Downloads. Here it is. We're going to go ahead and click our car. Bring that over here. Let's try this one more time. Alright, so what I forgot to do, because I haven't used this in probably a month and a half, you get in here to your downloads, figure out what your file is, and then you want to go ahead and go to the import, and then take your picture, put it right here into your little folder for your downloads, and then when you go ahead and open this, it will automatically open. And then come up here, and we're going to make this a lot smaller. So we're going to start out with 100, and the only thing this lock does up here is it's already to scale when you open it. So when you make it smaller, it's going to automatically factor in the other side. The other thing we have to do is we need to click on this, and we need to flip it around, because anything that we're going to laser engrave, laser burn, is going to be backwards of what we want. So you always want to flip your design before you cut it. So that's good. So now let's move over to the machine and get some stuff set. Okay, so now that you got everything set, I went ahead and I already framed this to make sure it works, so I didn't look like an idiot when I show you this. But I ended up moving it down to 90 and 90 for my piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the camera set up, but what you're not going to see is I'm going to push this frame button, and then it's going to go a frame around the object that I want to cut out. And you can either do a square frame or you can do a round frame. I'm doing square because my piece is square. It helps me get it lined up, and you'll kind of see that here in a second. Okay, we're going to go ahead and frame this. So we want to make sure that our laser is almost square with the whole object that we have. That way we know that the placement will be centered. And I'm not an expert, I'm just doing this stuff for some fun. Okay, so we know that's good, and the next thing that we're going to do is, you can see that the dot was really blurry, so what we need to do is set the laser for the depth that it needs to be. Okay, to set the laser where it needs to be, we have a fire button right here and a percentage. At 5%, you can look at it with your naked eye. If you want to go that route, you should always still wear eye protection, but it's a safer level, and we want to get that laser to where it's nice and pointed, really fine focal point for the best cutting and burning. So I'm going to set the camera up again, but we're just going to go ahead and push this fire button, and you'll see the laser come on. Okay, we're going to go ahead and push the fire button. You can see that the dot is pretty wide. If I can use the this is pretty dirty. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this little focal pointing lens at the bottom and try to get this as close to a focal point as we can. We're going to say right about there. And now you can see that dull spot in the middle is a really finer focal point. So that'll focus all our energy. Because this is a lower wattage laser. It will not cut through the wood. If you slow it down enough, it'll slowly burn through it. But it won't just cut it out like the fancy ones. So now we're going to go ahead and start it up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and shut this fire off. For the speed, we have some settings over here. I'm going to go to my cut layers, and there's a few different options here. The speed right now is about 4,000 millimeters per minute. I'm still experimenting with this, so I'm really new. I think we're gonna go to 1,000, and then our percentage with wood, we're just trying to burn it. Wood burns really easy compared to anything else. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set that for 80. Because if it's not quite right, what's going to happen is it's going to just burn a hole in it, or it's not going to burn it enough, and there's different kinds of wood that has a harder time actually burning. So we'll go ahead and move this up a little bit. Okay, so now our settings over here changed. We're going to do a 1 pass. Everything looks good, so all I have to do is get you set up over there, and then I'm going to go ahead and push the start button, and then it should take off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang this these $high China laser protective ultraviolet glasses over the camera here, like so that doesn't blind you guys so much. And then I'm going to just do a time lapse. I'll start it, and then I'm going to do a time lapse probably within the first minute. That way you guys aren't just staring at it. So here we go. So to do that one little piece took about an hour. I did bump up the settings to 3100 from 1000. It was going extremely slow. So let's check out our end result here. Now remember, we had it flipped around backwards. It is the correct way. So what we want to do is make sure that we didn't burn into it too much. And it's a little deep in there. I think we could speed it up quite a bit. where I did the letters here, I sped those up, so they're kind of burnt deeper than the rest of this, but I think it turned out pretty good. But there's an example of just like a coaster that you could do for, like, you know, friends, family, or maybe start small scale. The next thing we're going to try is I'm going to show you how to make a little keychain. So just to add, I bought this on Amazon. You can buy them already pre-made for like really cheap, especially if you just want to mess around. You can even use old piece of plywood or something. But these keychains, I just bought a blank like 50 pack. I get the thing open here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing that we did here. We're just gonna make it super small. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to just show you what we can do here on lightburn. So we got our image here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. And then what we can do is we can make different shapes, sizes we want, etc. Different patterns that machine is going to burn. What I want to do is just make a, if I can click on it here. Go ahead and we'll just back it up. What we can do is we can put in letters. So we'll do the same thing. Just type in Chevrolet. Our green spot here. Not sure what happened there, but go ahead, we'll type in Chevrolet. Our green spot is our center, and we are going to, we're done with that image, so we're going to go ahead and flip our image because we need it backwards. And I know that this is going to be way too big, so I'm going to go ahead and make it about 60. That'll shrink it up. And then this has a offset fill, or if we want to fill it, we're going to do an offset at 4,000, and this type of material we're going to burn it right in there. So we're going to go ahead and frame like we did before. We got to make sure that we're centered. Okay, we had some technical difficulty, but we're gonna go ahead and frame this. It's a little out of bounds. We'll go ahead and move that over a little bit more. And then we're gonna go ahead and start. So this is offset fill. All right, so that one took us about 15 minutes, and some mistakes were made, but it's just a learning process. So should have made it a little bit smaller. You can see where it rounds a little bit. It was off, but it's not bad. For me, I'd use it. You know, it doesn't bother me. If I was trying to sell it to somebody, I wouldn't. It just doesn't look right, but it's all about trial and error. So I don't know if you guys want to try some stuff. Don't be afraid to try it. As far as setup of what I have, this was like $200 on eBay. It's just a cheap off-brand. It comes with the wood engraver as well. I haven't used that yet. I was just more interested in the burning part of it. And then I just got it hooked up to a cheap laptop. Using lightburn, you can download it off the internet for free trial. And then when your 30 days are up, they ask you to buy a license or just don't use it. If you buy a license, you just go to the website. It's $60 right now, and they'll send you your link in an email that gives you your license, and then you just put that license number in on there when it pops back up, and then you're good to go. So I did buy mine because I've been messing with it a little bit more, and I want to try doing more things with it. So it's all a learning process, but it was something, being at CNC, it was a little hard for me to do. You know, if you want to get into something bigger, then you're going to want to buy, you know, more expensive, bigger equipment to do it. So there's a lot of equipment that you know, you can put a keychain in here, push a button, and it's like, you know, less than a minute, and you have the same image. Or you can do a bigger surface, but for what I got, it just passes the time. So maybe someday I'll get a bigger one if I start selling stuff. But well, that's all I got. So thanks for checking this one out. If you got any questions, feel free to comment, and do the best I can to get back at you. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time.